welcome to the Weekly Reset. I'm your host, stycksintern, and I hope you're all out there ready to have a good time. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit. I know, it's awful. I'm going to be talking head for a little bit. Not even really a talking head, because I'm just going to show slides. So yeah, but I'm going to talk about Transcendence, because someone asked me to, and by someone I mean multiple someones, many a ones asked me to. So I'm going to be covering Transcendence, and also there is a tournament that's not likely to happen. I don't have a team. It's a level 11 to 15 melee mosh pit, but 3 minutes left to enter. I don't think the tournament is going to go forward, but I will just talk about the transcendental Transcendence stuff instead. All right? So that's my plan. Chatterinos, if you're out there. And also, I have a new song made by AI referencing the wizard, ready to go. Baby, chat. So I'm excited for that. So let's talk Transcendence. Transcendence is a brand new feature coming to DeFi Kingdoms. There's a couple big things happening with it. So I've got here on the screen this infographic. We're going to start here and then just go through some of the other information the team has released about Transcendence. But basically, this is the newest feature that's coming to DFK tomorrow, Thursday, probably about 24 hours from now. And I'm going to get the music going again, sorry. And so this is a feature that does a couple things for the economy. It kind of makes a pair of tokens that represent the value, a sort of intrinsic value for a hero, and offers an alternative for people trying to get rid of heroes to, instead of selling them, to transcend them and get divine essence or greater divine essence. And these are both tokens that have clearly defined use cases that are high demand use cases in the community. And I think demand for these uses only goes up, basically. But I'm not saying the tokens only go up, because there are a lot of heroes out there. So that means what I anticipate happening when Divine Essence and Greater Divine Essence first comes out is probably like, I don't know, it's either going to be a short hesitancy period where all right, people aren't doing too much transcending of their heroes at the beginning because they're kind of playing with the system. But then once people figure it out, I think it's going to accelerate rapidly, and we're going to see a lot of heroes burned. I don't think it's going to be day one, because I think our community doesn't normally do that stuff like that, and is tends to be a bit more thoughtful in their approach. But hey, I'd love to be proven wrong. But regardless, so I think that we're going to see some heroes burnt, some people testing it out. But really, I think the features that they introduced with this are massive, and a couple of them are slept on. So the first two that are not slept on, that everyone's really excited for, are the level reset and the level re-rolling, right? So these are the four new activities that you can do. And I'd say people are kind of focusing on this corner, actually. I don't think equipment slept on, but they combined two things that I was thinking of as two things into one. So that just makes sense. But anyway, so level up re-rolling. What this means is that you will be able to spend DE, which is Divine Essence, one of the two tokens that you get from transcending a hero, to re-roll your hero's stat gains when they level up. So that means I'm taking this hero from level 9 to level 10. It gets to level 10, and it shat the bed. I got a 1, and then the rarity bonus, and that's it. And so if you that is what you're going to be able to do with DE. Spend a little DE, don't give that hero any XP, spend some DE, and you will be able to try again. And instead of a 1, maybe you'll get a 4, maybe you'll get a 6. But the cost of re-rolling rises on each hero the more times that you have done it. So what that means is, say I'm going from level 1 to 2, and I have to re-roll twice. The cost of that second re-roll is more than the first re-roll. And there's like a whole formula. We can get into slides if you really want to. But the most important thing to be aware of is that the Divine Essence cost for a re-roll goes up on each hero according to how many times it has been re-rolled. I think technically it goes up by 2 and then down by 1 every level with every time. It goes up by 2 every time you re-roll and then down by 1 every level that you do not re-roll. So it's like it goes up faster than it goes down. And if you have like a streak of bad luck and you need to reset a few times, and people will do that, some people will do that, like it's gonna just cost is gonna rise is my main point there. And so DE, but that only takes DE, which you get a lot more DE per hero transcended than you do the GDE, the Greater Divine Essence. The Greater Divine Essence is kind of like the premium token, what I would like to refer to henceforth as the Big Divine Essence, all right? The BDE. Fortunately, the team did not incorporate my feedback 10 months ago that they should call it BDE, but I digress. Some battles simply cannot be won, all right? And so here we are with GDE, aka BDE, and this is like, you get a lot less of this for every hero you transcend. And this is used for the premium tasks, which is level resetting and equipment restoration. Level resetting means I have a level 20 hero. I hate it. It was so good. It has the traits. It has the stone. But RNG just took it out back and shot it multiple times before throwing the body into a wood chipper. That is how poor the stats are, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And so this feature is going to be used for those types of heroes. Like I am taking this level 20 and I'm resetting the whole damn thing. You take it to level 1, and it's like a dark summoned hero insofar as it has the ability to be leveled up immediately to whatever level it was at when you transcended it. All right, so if you reset a level 20 hero, you will get to do all 20 levels basically at whatever pace you want, whether that's immediately or kind of spacing it out while you buy crystals and stuff. However, and you can just take RNG to the mat once again and show it who's boss with your awesome hero. So that is a feature that I'd say most people are extremely excited for, and definitely a premium feature for the premium token. I think demand there is going to be interesting. I think DE is going to be sneaky with level up rerolling being sneaky expensive, but there being a ton of DE, it's going to be hard to, project in theory what that's going to look like, which of these counterbalances on the kind of scales of the token the community will, how it will play out with the community's use of it, whether they burn more or whether they don't re-roll very much and they're just burning a ton but not re-rolling. So supply and demand is going to be interesting with DE. GDE is going to be rare, but it's also rarer to use. Rarer, one of my least favorite words. So equipment restoration, right? We don't even have durability yet, so that's not really going to be a feature yet. So that won't be a sync on the GDE economy at the beginning. It's just going to be level reset. So we'll probably see a spike as a bunch of the competitive players instantly burn a bunch of their heroes, right? Maybe like day 2 or 3, and set forth on that level reset for their best heroes. And then after that, I don't know how often we're going to see it, right? Maybe frequently, but I think the rate that's going to happen at is going to taper after the initial kind of batch of pent-up demand for that feature is expressed in the market. But does it have the Riz? Yeah, if heroes don't got Riz, they get the Ds, if you know what I'm saying. And that's the DE and the GDE, the Ds. Sergeant, you know where I'm going with that one. You know where I'm going with that one, Sergeant. All right, chat. So here's the feature I think people are really sleeping on that I don't see a lot of talk about, but I am personally almost the most excited for and kind of worried for, because this to me is the feature that I thought could not work in Web3 because it relies on high supply, infinite amounts of stuff. And that is the item upgrades. So this lets you take lesser stones, lesser crystals, and turn them into greater stones, greater crystals in high quantities. And now that I think is very, very interesting because it kind of we have this situation already where stones are a pretty high demand, high value object, especially, you know, the flavor of the month sort of enhancement, whether it be dex, agi, luck, intelligence, wisdom, how the people are feeling these days. Never endurance, never, ever, ever endurance. And I think we're going to see that market be much more interesting with the ability to turn items into higher tier items. And it also gives a path for a non-whale to kind of work their way up to having a greater stone without buying it. They can just get there on, you know, grit, determination, and grinding some freaking stuff that rewards crystals. I also, or even just taking their quest rewards to the stone carver and getting the basic stones with their quest rewards. So this is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a consistent high demand sort of use case, because there's this kind of mental unlock that happens when it's like, well, you can use the greater stone, so why wouldn't you use the greater stone? So I think we're going to see people sort of do that, but I could be wrong. But I think we're going to see a lot of use for this feature, and it uses both DE and GDE. Obviously, much less GDE, much less of the great Ds, but it's still, the fact that it uses both means it's a sync on both halves of that economy. So this is like the counterbalance. These are the counterbalances on one side of the scales of market, and on the other side are heroes, you know? And so heroes, in order to get DE and GDE, you have to burn heroes. It's not like there's an initial supply of this shit. It's all going to come, the initial supply is our heroes that we've made. And so I think pricing action is going to be wonky at the beginning. I personally wouldn't plan on buying any off the market for the first week, but hey, people take that risk and they can do stuff. I'm not one of them, and I don't advise anyone to be. But, you know, if that's your forte, go for it. And one note here, the last thing on this infographic, I'm just going to check on this, make sure they didn't sneak one past me. No, tournament was canceled. Okay. Is that the hero score, I'll actually just show this in game. So here at my recruiter, I manage my recruits. Oh, I can claim some shit. That's dope. I didn't even know I had this. Wonderful. So I have influence, and I could pledge, right? Like I could pledge this guy and this guy. And it says down here that it gives me like 6,000 influence, right? For a 30-day lock. And I think that 6,000 is also what my hero score would be. And GDE and DE, you receive them in an amount proportional to that hero score. So like, there's a little bit of RNG to it, but you kind of have a range set for how much DE and GDE you're going to receive based on your hero score. And hero score is influenced by a ton of factors. So this class and subclass rank, level, rarity, summons remaining. There's also this treasure hunt multiplier that I personally don't care for, but I do recognize other people are very interested in this. I just don't really have the time to play the treasure hunt. I'm going to be a more consistent long-term player. As you guys know, I've now been doing the weekly reset for over 2 years. Or not the weekly reset, but a weekly live stream with some gaps for 2 years, since April 2023. So happy birthday belatedly to me. Me being stycksintern, not the host. And then, anyway, back to the point, chat. The point, chat, is that, you know, I think this treasure hunt is going to drive a lot of really interesting discussion in the Gen chat. So I am excited to see it, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. And so if you have those higher tier heroes like Mythic, Dread Knight, like there's probably going to be a race to get that multiplier, because that's already a really, really nice DE, GDE amount that you're going to be getting, just because, look, it's class rarity, right? So if you have those two maxed out basically at Mythic Dread Knight, you're looking good for your Ds. And so I think we'll see some treasure hunt. It's just not really it's not my game to play. So I don't have a lot of great advice if you're trying to optimize for treasure hunt. Will it make a significant impact on hero inflation? Says Sergeant Filthy McNasty. And I gotta say, I would require you to define significant in that situation. Like, what is the standard to determine whether something is significant? But I think, it's hard to say because people could just summon heroes to get DE instead of buying it off the market. And it could cause more summoning on aggregate that offsets the amount burned. Not totally, but mostly. Thus, I would think making it not significant. I think the more significant point is that it is the first kind of stab the DFK team has taken, aside from dark summoning, but we'll ignore that for a second, that it consumes heroes for a utility, right? Dark summoning is kind of different in that it just gave you a different way to summon, and it provided a really valuable way to dispose of heroes with no summons remaining that were just kind of like, you suck, right? And so it had no real utility to them, right? Because you're never going to use a hero like that playing, and I frankly view this as a high utility for the bottom of the market, right? Because I think you could have arbitrage plays between the tavern floor and DE in a hypothetical future. I'm not saying that's going to happen immediately or that anyone in our community is sophisticated enough to do it, but maybe they are. I don't know. Dank Nation asks, what if they tease harder content tomorrow, even if it's months out, to drive more reroll demand? I can dream, I guess. Yeah, I don't think that's their style, is the only reason I'm going to say I don't think they'll do that. I mean, I think it's a valid, theory. It just doesn't seem like Bolon or Hubert's style. And I feel like between the two of them, they could get something vetoed, especially from a marketing perspective, at the very least. And the timing of an announcement is all I'm really referring to when I say get something vetoed. Don't take my words out of context. All words only have meaning in context, chat. That is why those clips you see of anyone, whoever your political opponent are, saying some nasty shit, you gotta really kind of see what the context was, because I say nasty shit all the time, but in context, it's not. Anyway, I digress enough. Workhorse, my man, good to have you. Zan says, I think it will take a long time to affect the hero market. There are way too many heroes. And I think that's totally valid. But there is now this kind of tension between, do I pledge and get influence to vote, or do I transcend those shitters? And more importantly, it just shows a continuing theme of working hero utility, especially consumptive or pseudo-consumptive, I'll explain that in a second, utility, because consuming is just a sink on the market, and ultimately, I think they're good, because we have really high, fountains pouring in, faucets into the market, but we don't have any sinks draining out. Or as many sinks. And we have dark summoning, which is popular, burned a lot of heroes. So I think this will also burn a lot of heroes. Will it, if you're asking me, are hero prices going to go up? I would say I expect over time there will be a noticeable pattern where the price of GDE and the floor price of heroes are kind of maintained as people kind of get those arbitrage, I don't know, something playing that arbitrage game in place. That's what I would think would happen in an efficient market. And then from there, it's a matter of demand versus production. And because this is our first non-summoning consumptive utility, it doesn't supply any new heroes to the market when you transcend one. It does lower demand in other ways, because I may not need to dark summon this other pair, because I now have this one that I can reliably work with. Or it may lower people summoning, because they're like, I don't need to keep summoning new ones to try to keep pace. I can just kind of re-roll, reset these ones that I have. So there's a lot of different ways people could respond. It's hard to predict. I would not say for sure that prices of heroes are going to go up or down. I do think we're going to see some interesting behavior though as people try to figure stuff out. And maybe there'll be interdaily kind of weird patterns where there's a price spike or dip or some shit. That's the best I can really give you on predictions. But I need to take a break and drink some water here. And really, that's just an excuse because I have a new track to play for you guys. It's about the wizard. I think you might find its lyrics provocative and edgy, which is perfect for this kind of a conversation.
Give it to me raw, hot and cold. Hot and cold finds my soul. Give it to me raw, arcana. Give it to me raw, arcana. Baby, give me that slippy, frost grippy. I wanna feel your mastery. Walls are dripping, it's so trippy. Wanna be in your menagerie. The way you move so dastardly. Dastardly. Give it to me raw, hot and cold. Give it to me raw. Give it to me raw. Darling, let me see you pyroclast explode. Fire, frost, and arcane mastery. Hot frost by it fills your soul. In the wizard's phylactery. Lactery. Won't you come inside to dance with me? Give it to me raw, and cold. Hot and cold. Take my soul. Give it to me raw. Give it to me raw.
Alright, I hope you heard that. Seeing no reaction in the chat, I'm going to assume that none of you did. Which disappoints me, because Give It To Me Raw Arcana seems like such a great concept to me, but it didn't slap, I suppose. Oh well. Anyway, I was just scrolling through these Divine Essence slides. I did cover these in pretty good detail 10 months ago, and I don't think they've changed significantly since then. But it does kind of provide more detail on all of the stuff I've been saying to you tonight, chat. All right? So be aware of that. This though is what I'm like most excited for. The Attunement Crystal and Enhancement Stone bonuses. Because one thing I forgot to mention early was you get crystals from rewards for transcending as well. Like you have a chance to get them. I forget exactly how. I don't know if it's just always a chance or there we go. Well, in addition to the other rewards described, the amount received is based on their top stat. So this is why I think we're going to see an influx of those lower tier crystals, because people might use this just as a way to get low tier crystals so that they can then spend the DE and GDE and get them up to stones, which are the most, not stones, get them up to like the greater version of themselves, whether crystals, for crystals at least. And then stones, as I mentioned earlier, you can make using the items from questing. So it kind of provides that vacuum suck in the air out of the hugely glutted materials market and I guess quest rewards market. And this part was the part I was missing earlier that I was like, wait, but where do you get crystals? And you get them from freaking doing Transcendence. So I think we see a big use of it on this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people don't like using greater crystals and stones like every level. Like I'm freaking addicted. I've done it to a few heroes now. Thank you, Mosh and Beef. And like using those greater crystals is just, it just feels right, chat. It just feels right. And I think this is going to be a huge source of demand on this new system. I kind of skimmed over it before, I just realized. But the equipment restoration, the way that works is your equipment has... I heard Hubert say this the other day, so I'm just going to say it as I recall. So you have like these 30... I forget the word he used, and then 5 repairs. So 30 durability and then 5 repairs. So you don't use GDE when you do these 5 repairs. It's when it gets down to 0 of 5 that you need to use the GDE to do the equipment restoration. So one thing to clear up there. This little thing is durability. This little thing is repairs. You can do 5 pairs before you need to restore. Terms of art, baby. Terms of art. Ha 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 ha. Alright. Was there anything else on Transcendence? You can also transcend dark summoned heroes to get void shards. So this gives people a, you know, I don't know. I'm intrigued to see how void shards are going to be used, because I think if they're only going to be used for a sort of like hunt progression system, like you have to do some of these hunts and get these crystals or shards before you can go do these other hunts. If that's the only way they're going to be used, I'm not sure why they're giving them out in Transcendence, because that just seems like an odd flow. Like, oh, I'm new to PvP and PvE. I want to play the top content. What should I do? I'm going to go burn some Dark Summon heroes, get these void shards that are soulbound. That just seems like an odd flow to me. Maybe that's not the intended use, but I don't think it is, because that's the only flow I can conceive of. But I can't think of another use for it that I'm aware of that they've told us. So maybe they have some plan out there for void shards beyond what's been expressed. I am just speculating here. I have no reason to believe that other than just guessing in the dark, shot in the dark, if you will. But yeah, so that's my thoughts there. The dark summon aspect, level reset, high demand early on from pent up PvP demand, but tapers rapidly, I would think, to a sort of maintenance level. And then equipment restoration, not equipment and equipment are out, but durability is not out yet. If you want to dive into the math, you can come look at these fun formulas that have like subtext and words in the subtext, and it's just disgusting. Oh, it makes me sick looking at it, so I'm not going to anymore. And you can, though. Math just makes me ill. Chat. Alright. Let me think. Is there anything else? Is this kind of going on anytime soon? 20 minutes. They don't even have their 4th yet? Ooh, rough. Wait. Max Mayhem Hope Fang edition. Oh, cool. Looks like Max is hosting a tournament tomorrow at 9 a.m. my time, local time. So 12 hours and 46 minutes from now. Entries open in 45 minutes. Nice. Okay. Chat, I did something today. Just a little something something. I requested image approval for a Mythic Mayhem logo. So I'm going to start throwing Mythic Mayhems. Kong's got his logo in. It's kind of nifty. You can come in here and use like one of these pre-made images. It's really nice for like teams, right? Say someone else wanted to come use Kong Clash, boom, it's right there. Also, you can use Metis if you're like really like brown nosing. You can use Kingdom Studios if you love brown nosing, or just DeFi Kingdoms if you're a straight OG. You know? So there we go. Those are all available in the image ones if you wanted to use them. Mine looks like Mythic Mayhem, which I guess I could try to show you the file. Do I know how to operate computer good enough? Don't know. Oh, truly don't know. Yeah, I do. Maybe not, chat. Open a new window. Yeah. This shit's gonna be beautiful. It's beautiful! Alright? With that, that's my coverage of Transcendence. New feature launches tomorrow. Let me go check the Discord announcements, make sure there wasn't anything else that I wanted to cover and forgot. Sometimes that happens, chat. It's real. Oh, duh. For the first 30 days, every hero and pet... Oh, also, you can equip pets to transcend with your hero. In my understanding, it gives a negligible bonus. I expect to do it myself just because I want a way to dispose of crappy pets. But, like, it doesn't get me going that you can do pets. It's just, yeah, don't forget, you equip a pet. Boom. Send it. Transcend it. And, for the first 30 days, every hero and pet transcended will give you entries in 2 raffles. The first raffle will have entries determined by every 500 points of hero score and half of divine essence provided by pets. 0.5, I guess I should say. The second will be 1 entry for every hero and every pet that you transcend. So, okay, so one kind of weighted raffle, which, like, burning higher point score, I should say, heroes gets you more entries. And then one that's just straight up democratic, 1 entry per hero and pet. Prizes include Gen Zeros and a brand new accessory, the Cerulean Helm of Ascension. Which, okay, well, this totally changes. Well, knowing that they are doing an incentive off the rip, yeah, I definitely think people are going to go hard early then. But it is 30 days. So there may still be that kind of testing period of 5 to 7. I do know that I will be sending a shitload of my shitters there. Because really, as a person who summons a lot, I have a bunch of Gen Zeros, as you know. And what I do is I don't sell the 10 of 10s. I summon them down, and then I summon down their spawn. And then I summon down their spawn. I am one of the causes of hero inflation, ladies and gentlemen. And now I have a choice with the ones that I don't want to sell. Do I stake them for influence to to vote for my champion in PvP events, or do I just transcend them? And I think I'm gonna transcend a bunch, and that's the end of that story, I guess. Are there any other stories that I wanted to tell you, chat? Yeah, both Crystal Vale and Sarandale, they said that ages ago. Because and you know for sure, because the freaking treasure hunt aspect is realm specific. Because they don't cross-chain message. Because that's more expensivo and stuff. Or reasons. Technology. So they're just per chain. There's a different treasure hunt game per chain. And it's going to be Sarandale, Crystal Vale. They did release 2 teasers of nice looking art. Showing the Transcendence poles sticking up out of the ground. Ready to ride the earth. Very excited for a new zone. What else, guys? Is there anything on all of your minds that you wanted to talk about? Because I think I've just about transcended myself out of topics for this evening. But if you have anything, I sent items to everyone from Bert's tournament that I hosted 2 weeks ago. I finally today sent everything that I owed people. So be aware of that. Tune fed primarily. What else, chat? Yeah, I got nothing else. And since you're not really saying much, I'm going to play my Raw Arcana one more time just because I want to listen to it. Even if you guys don't like it. Repetition is the path to enjoyment. And after that, if I don't see any other topics in the chat, I will sign off and we will have a great day/evening.
Give it to me raw, hot and cold. Hot and cold finds my soul. Give it to me raw, arcana. Give it to give me that slippy, frost grippy. I wanna feel your mastery. Walls are dripping, it's so trippy. Wanna be in your menagerie. The way you move so dastardly. Dastardly. Give it to me raw. Hot and cold.
Oh, Mike. Oh, thank you for the reminder. Mike, thanks for that reminder. I'll do that right now on stream.
Give it to me raw. Darling, let me see you. Pyroclast explode. Fire, frost, and arcane mastery. Hot frost fire, it fills your soul. In the wizard's phylactery.
Chad, I started with 60. I'm down to 14.
Come inside to dance.
No, it's 30. It was only 30 suits. Never mind. That's not as dramatic as I thought.
Hot cold. Give it to me raw. Give it to me raw.
I can't believe you missed what, Worm? Or is that Emerson? Is that Worm or Emerson? I don't know. I can't tell these days. But it's not done yet. I was just playing the song to see if anyone had topics. Do you have a topic? I gotta send K as bloater. So you have time to think of one now. What was I gonna do that? There is, boom. There is, boom. Alright, and then I'll just open a new window so I don't reveal who you are to everyone. There we go. What do you think about Bearveer? Yeah, no health. Let's scope my wizards, chat. Worm, good to have you. Alright, so I have this sweet one who's Gen 0 though, so no good. I mean, their health, I don't know. Maybe I just need to get over myself. My HP scares me on all of my wizards. It's just so low. It is so absurdly low. Okay, chat, I still do have 42 bloater heads, so plenty to send out. But the bodies, I'm getting scarce. I'm getting scarce on the bodies, sending this one. Yeah, but it's worth it to give. You got 3-day cooldown now for Vizzies, I'm sorry. So you have to wait 3 days to use the bloater still. But the head you could use immediately. And I just sent those off. So, Mike K, if you're out there, I just sent those off. Alright. Wizards. Do I have any, like, good burn material in here? Let's do a rarity descending search. Oh, I got Gianna. She's got such low health. Greater Finesse Stone. That she was meant to be an archer, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have archer sub 1. It has stun, so I like that. 33 dex, only 24 agi. I don't know. Worm asks if skirmishes didn't run because of people preparing, or very few want to play 11 to 15. I will tell you that I don't know the answer, but for me personally, I see a level 11 to 15 melee mosh pit, and I'm like, nah. Not because I think it's bad or anything. I like the melee mosh pit. I just like, I don't have a ton of 11 to 15 heroes, and like to begin with, and I never equip them. So mine are never just chilling with equipment on. Yeah, what Dank Nation basically said. It's very specific to build for. But, I mean, that could mean that there's just opportunity there for the knock-in. What about Vrelga? 808, level 19? Damn, so you're not even going to clear 900? I just feel like 900. I want 900 HP at least. But maybe I'm being picky. Am I being picky, chat? Hippico is level 18 with 586. She's burned. She's burned material. Level her to 9. I might level her to 20 still though because she's already 19 effectively. Got a lot of wizards here. What's your deal? Efficient. I like that. I could get a mutation there. Maybe I do a burn here. Level these two up first, then burn them. I should sticky notes their freaking IDs. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. There's one. Oh, no, that's just a V. There we go. And then two. Cool. All right. And now what stone do I want to use? None of these. What's the greater swiftness going for these days? $900 is not too bad. That's good to know. Okay. All right, cool. People confirmed in Discord that they... Oh, 210. The price has gone up. I love that. Personally. I just think DE, GDE, this is a like precursor to what the main demand driver is going to be is stones. Oh, do I have enough stuff here to sell to get one? I want a greater agi wizard just because I want a greater agi everything. But maybe I'll wait till I'm burning legis or a mythic. Maybe for now I'll just go with a greater int. Or not int, right. I gotta type greater wit. There we go. What does that cost me these days? 53, a cool 4x cheaper. 25% of the cost of the greater swiftness. Whoa! So, what the DFK says in chat, he's trying to determine if he'll just send his low rarity heroes or burn very high value that you can get the bonus modifier. I think it's going to work out to where the bonus modifier, the high value ones, only really work if you can catch the treasure hunt. And otherwise, like the big game in town is going to be burning your low shitters. That's my initial theory, thesis, idea. Because I think most people are going to be burning their bad heroes to enhance their good ones, or their good equipment, or to make new good ones with the stones, right? So you're going to be burning the bad to make the good, separating the wheat from the chaff, and throwing the chaff into the burn address, never to be seen again. That's my kind of initial take. And right now, you're going to see me hit a mythic with this int stone. I'm going to be so stoked. Because you got to manifest this stuff, chat. Manifest it. All right, 1 locked in. 2 locked in. Oh, I got to... Ooh, I almost forgot I need to level them up. I'm missing out on lots of value there. Yeah, I don't need that. Just, what's your highest stat? Yeah, let's keep it in. All right, whatever. Add to queue. The things I do for you, chat, and mostly I mean I do for me, but I let you watch. Oh, let's keep in, hopefully. I guess if I get Wiz as the best, I'm not mad, but I'd rather have them both be the same. So hopefully I hit all 3 int and no Wiz here on Walgrim. Brush Seeker. What a name. Brush Seeker. So many S's and E's. I guess only 2 S's and 3 E's. But still, I'm sticking to my guns on this one, chat. That's a lot. Alright, so anyone watching who's new, the reason I'm leveling these guys up is because at level 10, when you're summoning, you can get an extra 1% growth in your primary stat score for the highest stat on the summoning hero. Whoa, which is going to be Wiz because it is higher than int in the order. On a tie goes to the order they were written in, which I'm pretty sure is down the left column, then down the right column. But correct me if I'm wrong, if someone knows better in the chat. I'm not married to that. I don't remember where I learned it. And then what was the other one's ID? There we go. All right, now, boom, boom. 20 tiers extra. See, so I'm getting that extra 1%. And this one's Wiz. Yeah, so that's right. Now I add my greater wit stone, greater wheat. And then we do the favorite part, chat. We type burn to confirm. All right. Give me that raw arcana. You know what I'm saying, chat? Yeah, new song. Play it 3 times. This is how we do.
Give it to me raw, hot and cold. Hot and cold finds my soul. Give it to me raw arcana.
Give it to me raw arcana.
Give it to me raw arcana.
The AI really killed it on how I wanted that pronounced, like said. Parentheses are huge in your prompt. Did I get the Slippy Frost Grippy? That's the question. Ah, I got a wizard. Mythic Vibes. Perfect coming. Oh, it's a blue. But that's fine. I have the stats work out. Hey, I got that mutation for Exhaust Baby. Rare below tournaments. I'm coming. Coming for you. And I got Agi Boost. 2 points. Coming, baby. That Endurance Blue I could be happier with, but it's alright. It's alright. Oh, and Warrior subclass is brutal for that. Oh, only 26%. You'd hope for over 30 using a greater. I didn't really think about it though. This is a stream summon, and it wasn't Agi, so I can move on with life. 88% means I use a greater crystal, and I have a 100% hit chance. So I ain't mad about that. And I can get 96 on Wiz if I use a greater Wiz crystal. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'll play it. I'll level it. And with that chat, I'm going to call it. I hope you all have a great evening. And yeah, learn about Transcendence. Go listen to it. And